The 2016 Texas High School Athletic Directors Association meetings taking place here in San Marcos at the Embassy Suites. One of the main topics from the athletic directors was integrity. Very disturbing is the words Northside ISD Athletic Director Stan Lang used while referring to video of two defensive players from San Antonio J High School targeting an official at a game in Marble Falls in early September. The two J players were suspended and a J assistant coach was dismissed, but the fallout from the national media was simply overwhelming.
Sometimes bad things happen to good people. The key to that is how you respond to those bad things and making sure your actions and attitude are reflecting the integrity and the things that we want to use this as a teachable moment in that respect.
How Northside ISD handled it is what Stan was asked to share with other Texas high school athletic directors.
If you know what you stand for, it makes it a lot easier to deal with that. We talk about our coaches going beyond the game, beyond X's and O's, and still values in our young people. But you know what, as adults, we can shake our head all we want, but we need to be talking to one another about those things and the integrity piece of that. And in this certain situation, what does self-control mean? And those are important values that we assume as adults, that we know that, but we're no different than kids. Sometimes we need to be coached up and reminded.
It is probably one of the athletic director's worst nightmares.
In December, Katy ISD Athletic Director Debbie Decker had her own trouble to deal with when, following the Katy Tigers' 66-0 third-round playoff win over Friendswood, it was self-reported that the Tigers used an ineligible player who had moved from another high school earlier in the season. Debbie took the blame for approving the player's eligibility, saying it was an honest mistake. Facing a forfeiture, Katy ISD officials listened as the UIL State Executive Committee placed the Tigers on probation for a year without a forfeiture, allowing them to continue their season, which resulted in the school's 8th state football title.
We were so fortunate and blessed that the State Executive Committee believed in the things that we had done to show that sufficient diligence. It is important for my colleagues to hear exactly what went on. It's so important to have a good compliance program.
The message was clear, though. Honesty is the best policy.
At halftime, a couple of the kids were running by, and one of them stopped and said, "Are you Miss Decker?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "Thank you for fighting for our team." The kids saw an example of a mistake was made, a mistake was owned up to, and then, thank goodness, the right thing happened in the end.
What you saw with Debbie Decker is a lady who has extreme integrity, a great reputation, and building a great legacy. I'm a huge fan of hers, and because of what she's done in the past, it helped our kids at that very critical moment.
And those were two unforeseen situations. I mean, who would ever think somebody would target a ref? And then the situation with the paperwork at Katy. And I know how Debbie Decker does her job, and I know how conscientious she is, and she's a great athletic director and a great representative for our organization.
One of the biggest things is just listening to each other. That's been a very helpful thing to me over the years, is just communicating with each other and hearing their stories and their takes on different things.
There's athletic directors here from all over the state. I think it's really great to get a chance to connect with them. They all go through the same problems that we go through on a daily basis, so getting that FaceTime with them and getting a chance to visit with some of the other ones around the state is very helpful.
THSADA Executive Director Rusty Dowling says the 45th state conference set an attendance record.
We like to attribute it to the quality of the conference, the topics of the conference, and the professional development opportunities that the athletic directors get. Plus, we've had more exhibitors at the trade show than we've ever had, so it gives athletic directors the opportunity to do business.
We're very, very pleased with the turnout we've had. We knew from our pre-registration that we were going to have a lot of folks in here, and our attendance at the individual presentations has been very good, and the response that we've gotten back so far has been outstanding.
Rusty was still an athletic director at McKinney and Katy. Because I was right next door to him at Alton. He's a visionary. The things that he's done to take this association to a whole nother level, it can't be put into words what value it has. And he's a grinder, he's a perfectionist, and that's exactly who we need in that leadership role to help us continue to get better as a state.
A lot of athletic directors at one point in their career were coaches, and so yeah, they have been in the trenches and they understand a lot of the things that are going on.
One of the longtime sponsors of this event is Hellas Construction, who discussed concussion prevention from doctors, trainers, coaches, and specialists, plus equipment safety from helmets to the pads beneath the fields.
We're still striving for a perfect product, right? So if you have cushioning, and we can solve heat, and shoe cleat interface, which I think we have all those now, I mean, it is the next best thing to real grass.
In San Marcos, Jeff Power, High School Spotlight.